Dear students, today we shall start our class with the topic Shakespeare's comedy, which is there in your syllabus in paper 4, and we shall know how it is important for you. Uh, Shakespeare's comedies are basically romantic in nature, but so far as uh, comedies are concerned, we also find new type of comedy during the age of Shakespeare or even after the age of Shakespeare, in the age of James I, which is called Jacobean age. One important another name in the age of Shakespeare was Ben Jonson. Ben Jonson was also a great name in the field of English drama. He was basically contemporary of William Shakespeare. He was born in 1573 and perhaps he died in 1637. Parallelly, we find the ages of these two writers are contemporary, but Ben Jonson used to write comedies not in romantic vein. His comedies were different from the comedies of Shakespeare. He used to write classical comedies. Now, we can make the difference, or it is quite natural to ask the question, what is the difference between classical comedy and romantic comedy? As I have made it clear to you that Shakespeare was prone to prone to write romantic comedies, whereas Ben Jonson was a pioneer name in the field of classical comedies. Classical comedies, something which is written in conventional form. It is very realistic. It is something more realistic or mechanical realistic, you can say. Uh, the purpose of classical comedy writers was didactic, you can say. It was more moralistic in nature. It was more conventional in type. It was traditional in uh, nature, you can say. It is something which is strictly adhered to the prevalent rules of previous traditions. As we find in the plays of Ben Jonson, writers were more serious about following the rules of three unities: unity of time, unity of place, unity of action. Uh, they were more serious about the moral purposes of their dramas. They were more serious about the realistic description in their dramas. Shakespeare did not follow the conventional pattern of writing plays. So far as the writing of comedies are concerned, Shakespeare uh, wrote his comedies totally in different manner. The basic theme of romantic plays of Shakespeare was no doubt love. Without love, there is no concept of romance. As we go through the plays of Shakespeare, we find that except few like Comedy of Manners, Taming of the Shrew, we find complete romantic comedies in the plays of comedies of Shakespeare. For example, As You Like It, Much Ado About Nothing, The Merchant of Venice, A Midsummer's Night's Dream. There are so many plays written by Shakespeare which are written not in the pattern of classical tradition, rather, it was written in the romantic fashion, you can say. So, before knowing about salient features of romantic comedies, it is quite essential and genuine for you to understand the background of romantic comedies, how it is different from classical comedies, which were prevalent or in fashion during that period. Shakespeare's name in the field of drama is great. It is well known to all that Shakespeare was one of the greatest dramatists in English literature, and how he revolted go against the prevalent norms of writing plays in his time, it is quite commendable and surprising. So he is a big name in the field of uh, writing comedies. So that's all today for you. In our next class, we shall discuss about the salient features or characteristics of Shakespeare's comedies. Today I have discussed about the comedies. What is comedy? Comedy is something written for the purpose of pleasure. It is ending with the note of happiness. But there is minute difference between classical comedies and romantic comedy. Despite the fact both are comedies, but nature of these comedies something different. Classical comedy was in the pattern of convention, conventional rules and regulations which were which was followed by Ben Jonson, whereas romantic comedy was a new phenomenon in the writing of comedies which was expounded and propounded by William Shakespeare. Though they were contemporary, but they were also rival to each other so far as the matter of writing comedies is concerned. What are different salient features of classical comedies? It is natural to understand before understanding the nature of comedies, romantic comedies. What are different salient features of classical comedies? Until unless you know about the classical comedies, you cannot make difference or contrast between the two and how it is different, how it is important. So today we discussed about different salient features of classical comedies. Uh, Classical comedies were written for the purpose of uh, reality. It were treated as more realistic, mechanical realistic reality, you can say. It was written for the purpose of depiction of morality. It is something which is more didactic in nature. It was more adhered to the rules of writing comedies. It was not completely free from different conventional restrictions of writing comedies. Uh, See, so far as the matter of unities is concerned, classical comedy writers were very serious about following the rules of Unity is unity of time, unity of place, unity of action. These are things which were very much uh, followed by the writers who used to write classical comedy. All these things were not followed by Shakespeare. He started new type of comedy, uh, which is called romantic comedy, and it is something which is a special feature of Shakespeare, which is started during that period of Elizabeth. So today it is it is enough for today's class. In our next video, in my next video, I shall be discussing with you about different salient features of Shakespeare's romantic comedy. That's all. Thank you. Thank you very much.